Marvel Legends are pushing $30 and Black Series wants the same. The Maximum Series line is going for $50 and $60 and we're not even talking about tariffs or markups or nothing like that. Everyone is talking about prices, and a lot of the time the talk is full of frustration and anger and sometimes fear. But here's my truth. I don't really care about toy prices right now. I mean, I care, but not really. I don't really care in the way that everybody else seems to. It's not because the prices aren't high, because they are. And it's not because it doesn't matter, because it does. But if you're on this channel, then you guys already know my style. I'm not the type that's going to sit down and just start crying about something. That's not really my style. I may not like something, but I always take a look at things from different vantage points. And I try to figure out, how can I turn this negative into my positive? So the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I just have to change the way that I collect. And honestly, I feel better for it. So why is it that I feel that way? Stick around. The price panic. Right now, the prices are going through the roof. We got inflation, we got licensing fees, and the US tariffs on China is up at 30%. So it's safe to say that things are climbing up pretty fast. A lot of collectors right now are stressed out, and it's understandable. I mean, it is frustrating to see a figure that just a few years ago would have went for $19.99 is right now sitting on the shelf for $29.99, $34.99. Me, myself, when I first started collecting Marvel Legends, they was going for like $17.84 in Walmart or something like that. I used to get 5 figures for $100 and still get change back. $120 and you had the whole wave, build a figure and all. And not for nothing, back then you could find the whole wave too. It wasn't a science project, there was enough for everybody. We fast forward to today and we're lucky if we can get 3 figures for that same $100. And a builder figure in 2025 will be considered a blessing. What they really want to do is just slide us retro car backs all day for like $35. And at that price, you can't even get 3 for $100. But you know what? For the first time in a long time, I'm not even panicking. I'm not racing to pre-order, and I don't feel like I'm missing out. I don't feel like I need to maximize any of my figures. And to be 100% honest with you, I'm not even chasing new releases anymore. My game plan has changed, and I couldn't be more excited about it. The chase that never ends. Not too long ago, I realized something. I've missed out on so many great figures. And not even because they was expensive or not even because they was exclusive, but because I was so busy trying to chase the next thing. Every time I thought I had a break, a new wave would drop. Just when you think you have a moment to yourself, a new wave is going to be announced. And I kind of felt like, well, if I don't stay on top of it, I'm going to fall behind. But the reality is this. I was already behind. I just didn't know it. That retro Spider-Man I said I would swing right back to when I had the chance, I never did that. That Star Wars trooper that was peg warming in the store and I told myself I was going to get him as soon as the price dropped, I never got around to that. I missed out on him. That Marvel Legend figure from last year that would have completed the team for me is still not in my collection to this day. For those who may not know, I literally have a Street Fighter vs. Marvel shelf that I've been working on in my room for a minute. And guess what characters I don't have now that I've been meaning to pick up? Cable and War Machine. I could care less about Zabu, they can keep that. But I always told myself, I need that Cable. That Cable was made for my Marvel vs. Street Fighter shelf. War Machine too. I need this particular War Machine right here to go on my shelf. As of today, as I'm recording this right now, I still don't have those 2 characters in my collection. And now Sagat and Blanca are coming out, so it makes perfect sense for me to get those 2 so they each have somebody to 1v1. The whole point is this. Cable and War Machine have been out for a minute now. I just keep looking past them because I keep focusing on all the new stuff that's coming out. I take a look to the left, I'm like, yeah, he's still there on Amazon, but then I'm worried about the pre-orders. I can see clearly that Cable's in stock and the price is low, so I kind of feel comfortable with that. I feel like I have time to go out and get them. But with the way that prices are going, I can't help but feel like that time is now. The perfect time to look back. That realization right there is when I decided, with the prices the way they are, this is actually the perfect time to hit the pause button and start buying backwards. Why am I so worried about these overpriced and regurgitated releases when they actually have things that I want and need and I can still get them for cheaper? And I kind of feel like it still gets better and better. So what does that mean? Well, older figures are currently in stock. We don't have to play this pre-order release date game. We don't have to wait months for a ship date, and we can kind of relax, and we don't even have to worry about production delays. That's like a new figure thing. The figures that I'm looking at now, I click buy and they ship. immediately. These days, Amazon can get me that figure by tomorrow. No worries. It's low stress and high satisfaction whenever I'm buying figures like that. Especially for me, because I have a severe instant gratification issue. I can tell you that. I'm a cash and carry guy all day. That's always been my speed. I've never been a fan of take my money now and I guess I'll just wait and see. I hate that. I guess I'm just kind of old school with it. And that's why I love toy hunts so much and visiting comic stores and conventions. Everybody comes off at the same time. If I could do it like that every time, I would. Trust me. And here's another reason why I love looking back, and this one's a big one. Buying backwards actually allows me to finish teams and sets that I've been working on that I just haven't had the chance to finish yet. When we steady picking up new figures, you have to realize those figures are designed to pull us in all types of different directions. A new Spider-Man drops and he doesn't finish a team, he starts a new one. We already had Spider-Man. A new X-Men wave will probably give you 3 new X-Men from a 6-character lineup. It might take 3 or 4 waves to get everybody that you're checking for, but now you locked in, so it's like you gotta keep going. Man, I have been sitting on that black and gray Wolverine for the longest, and I never really thought too much about it. Then they put out Nightcrawler, now they got X-23 and Warpath, and now they got the Black Archangel with the silver stripes. And now, of course, you know I want to put all that together, but you see what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about them in the first place. I wasn't thinking about that team at all. I've been had that black and gray Wolverine, and I never thought nothing of it. I just explained how I needed Cable and War Machine for a shelf that I've been set up and been invested in. But now, for some reason, my mind is telling me that I need to run and get these X-Men X-Force characters. And why? Because they're not out yet? Cable and War Machine are sitting pretty so I can get them. But I got these guys giving me question marks? You see how the game plays with you? That Wolverine planted the seed for those X-Force characters like a decade ago. That's how long ago they planted that seed. That's how patient they are with their releases. They play the long game, and we over here stuck on our instant gratification. That's the problem. The cycle never ends, and it's designed that way. But when I backtrack or buy backwards, I control the story. I decide what shelf or what team gets completed next, and not the Hasbro marketing team. Examples that hit different. Let me give you some examples and stretch this out a little bit further so you guys can see exactly how it is that I'm thinking. I'm an 80s baby, so you know I grew up with Transformers, and I've always loved them. G1 and Beast Wars were always my favorite, and today G1 is probably still my favorite. Now, when I got into Marvel Legends, like I said, they was going for like $17 at that time, and I saw Transformers right there on the shelf along with them. The thing with me is I know how I am, so I always try to ask myself, figure out how much do these people cost? How much is the whole team that you're checking for? How much are the characters that I'm gonna wind up going for? Because that's what really counts. And sure enough, once I started seeing the difference in classes, it came clear to me real quick. I'ma like the bigger ones. I mean, deluxe classes is cool, but my eyes are going for Voyager classes, Leader classes, Titan classes, Masterpiece classes. That's where my eyes going. So I told myself at that time, clever. Stay away from Transformers before you wind up with a life-size Optimus Prime in your room. Fast forward to today, and I don't feel the same. So what's changed? The prices changed everything for me. Once Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse started hitting $25 and $30, the argument to not get Transformers went right out the window. In actuality, the argument to continue buying Marvel Legends became harder and harder for me to justify. All right, Spider-Man. Forget about maximum. Let's just talk about minimum Spider-Man for a second. At this point, a new symbiote Spider-Man just means that his eyes are a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than the last one. The symbiote Spider-Man that came with the Sandman Build-A-Figure piece is still the symbiote Spider-Man that I have on my wall to this day. Do I really need to pay $35 for a new symbiote Spider-Man with some bigger eyes and a shield that I'm never going to display him in? When that same money could get me a transforming Optimus Prime that's actually fresh and is actually brand new. Transformers are pricey. Very true. But so is everything else, and at least with them, I get 2 modes. I spent $36 on my very first Voyager class Optimus Prime, but I feel way more accomplished spending that money on Optimus Prime than I would have buying my 35th Spider-Man figure. I spent $54 on a Leader class Shockwave, which at one time I would have been like, yeah, all right. But guess what? That Shockwave is popping. That figure has made me revisit that movie so many times because I forgot how badass that scene was. And then I think about this. What do I really want? Another Wolverine 2-pack for $50? We only want one of those figures. How about a Thunderbolts 2-pack? They going for $50, but something tells me there's gonna be a lot of Red Guardians at Ross this summer. The Iron Fist and Luke Cage double pack was dope, but those are far and few in between. $50 is $50. But what we get for our $50 is what we need to be mindful of. Ever since I started thinking like this, every time I buy a figure, it just feels right. Fewer figures, but more focus. So this whole shift has really changed my mindset completely. I'm definitely buying less figures now than I was when I first started out, but I'm more excited about each and every one that I do pick up. I'm not just collecting whatever it is that's new and whatever they want to throw in my face. I'm collecting what I care about, what fits in my room, or what finishes something. I'm not saying to never buy anything new because that's not the case. A lot of the new stuff is dope, but the price hikes have to make me stop and ask, do I want this because I love it? Or do I want this because it's new? That's the question right there that helped me to realize very clearly what it is that I actually want. So yeah, prices are up and they may keep on going up. But instead of letting that stress me out, I've decided to take a step back and try to reconnect with the figures that I've missed out on to complete my sets and to finish my teams or just to enjoy collecting all over again. So if you're starting to feel overwhelmed or even priced out, maybe that's your sign too. What figure did you miss out on that you still think about? What shelf needs to get finished or what team needs to finally be completed? What grail have you been meaning to go back for? Drop it in the comments because I would love to hear what it is that you guys are backtracking to. And if this video right here helped to give you a new perspective, consider liking the video and sharing it with other collectors who may need to hear this. I appreciate you. Until next time. Peace.